Hey, what's good? This one might be short, but I'm just kind of going live. Seeing if anybody wants to talk. I got a chat, man. I got a lot of anxiety right now. Who's out there? Who's out there? Let me tweet it out real quick. This is just a precursor to tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get up early and go live for these UFO hearings, which is part one of a whole summer's worth, and I guess all the way till the fall that this process is going to be going on. So I've been wanting to talk about this for about a week, but let me tweet this shit real quick. I'm not gonna make this one long. We're just gonna, if anybody shows up, we talk shit, we'll talk shit, but maybe we'll go later on J-Leb's channel when he's back, talk games. But I just want to holler at the chat, let everybody know we're still alive, you know? Because I know we're all dealing with this ontological shock. And I don't mean the extraterrestrials, I mean this ABK deal. People are pissed off, they're confused. Z's not here. He's not bringing balance to the cinematic universe of broadband bullies. I mean, it's all fucked up. It's all fucked up. Manhattan agrees. I think. All right. But yeah, shout out to you, Briarios, and little Mello, his little Rodney son, for checking in. But I don't even know what we're talking about. We're not talking about anything. I'm just like fucking. Just thought I'd go live, see if anybody wants to chat, but. I don't have any fucking game topics. But yeah, tomorrow we'll watch the stupid House subcommittee. They're gonna have some whistleblower UFO people on there, but I'm sure it's just gonna be a bunch of bullshit because it's first of all, it's the House, but this is the one time when I think right-wing populism actually comes in handy, because the politics might be all over the place and fake and bullshit a lot of times, but they do have the balls to fucking call out some people with it. If you're not taking money from them, that's the plus. So a lot of these you know, MAGA type populist Republicans, they get most of their money from citizens that just want them to bitch and complain, so they can go out there and call out a fucking Air Force general and not have to worry about as much, you know. I mean, obviously there's going to be some blowback, and actually the fucking Pentagon was blocking shit, so they're behind the scenes right now if I could try to, you know, stop a lot of the snowball fucking shit going down, but hopefully the media does their job on this shit. I gotta add some drums to that. It's some noisy shit. Oh, there's something with the bass line. This is a jam I did recently, I guess. That's just me playing by myself, I guess, I think. Yeah, that's just all me. Fucking around, making noise. What else is going down? Any news out there? Man, where you at? Get your ass in here. Get your ass in here. The fuck is wrong with you? Come on, this is for Big Otis. This is for Otis. Let me turn that music down. Listen to me going off on that.
Cursing, Buck?
Huh?
So that wasn't a meeting. I didn't even know you was on.
I just started.
What's in the back?
Oh. Well, you must have been muted.
I thought you was.
You must have been muted then.
I was muted, but I don't know why you started coming through on the Discord because I wasn't in a meeting. It was like.
Oh, my bad.
Nah,
my bad.
Okay, we cursing out meeting all the time.
You know, I'm just always trying to give people
it's
some.
One of those meetings that nobody paid attention to. They're just going over some stuff, and everybody just be talking super shit.
Hey, this part was pretty cool. I should use this. Hold on. These are just like some demos that I worked on, and sometimes you can go back to them and find little nuggets. I could loop this part. Hold on. Here it comes. I think it was a cool riff. Let me see. Yeah, that riff isn't really that great. Okay. What? Iron Mike said something?
Yeah, you said you just chatting.
I don't even know yet.
Iron Mike, man,
I'm just talking.
Don't worry about Iron Mike, man. He just ducking me in Street Fighter. Run away all you want.
I'm not taking over for Z. I'm just trying to. You know, I feel not guilt. What's the word I'm looking for? I feel like a certain obligation sometimes to help. You know, just try to keep shit going, and like I always feel like when Z's gone for long periods of time, I always feel like, and it's not really me, I just feel like other people are probably got a lot of shit built up in them that they got to get off their chest and want to talk about. So that's the only reason I do it. You know, I'm like, plus, you know, every once in a while I got shit to say, but usually I can say everything I need to say in like 10 minutes. I don't need that. But everybody else, man, they'll go for like 2 goddamn hours talking fucking console shit. But I just wanted to chat it up with the chat, see what's up, and then say, you know, maybe tomorrow we'll do that hearing. You know, there ain't no fucking game news. I mean, shit, right? Anything happen today? See, that's why you need Levon. You know.
Who the fuck is Levon at?
I'm afraid to boot up Diablo too. I got it on right now, but ever since that, because I put it down like 2 weeks ago, I haven't picked it up. I'm afraid to go in and fucking see how bad it is, because everybody said it was like fucked up, or got fucked up. But yeah, I know everybody's in this post ABK, post disclosure. I don't even know what to call it. It's a wash, is what it is. It's a fucking wash. The whole fucking thing. And the cancer of gaming. I'm gonna pee at the top. Wait, what? I guess it is too early, so I don't know what I was thinking going this early. Nobody ever shows up. Anytime I try to stream earlier in the day and I'm like, hey everybody, let's talk some shit.
You gotta do it later.
Nobody shows up.
Wow.
I've done them even later and people don't want to fucking show. It's like, it's tough.
You announce it? Drop it in a...
Yeah. I didn't announce this one, I'm just saying.
You might want to announce it, drop it in Ricky, just
yeah.
everybody.
If we do a regular show, I will. But we need topics. We need to get together. But
so yeah,
Arnie don't even get off till like 6 o'clock. But I got to work tonight, so that's why I just want to holler at the chat. There's a couple people in there, so we can talk. No, I ain't got a PS5 yet. I need one. I'm fucking broke, man. Every time I was up and I'm like, I had enough money for, whatever, some shit would come up, every time. Car, had to patch a fucking hole in the fucking tire recently. That's gonna cost money to get the new tires. You can't just get one tire, so. But for now, it's patched. Fix a flat. Well, no, not fix a flat. One of those vulcanized rubber or whatever. There's that. There's I don't remember what else happened, but all kinds of shit. All kinds of bullshit. Where's the restream chat? There it is. Are you asking if I am taking over Z? Are you asking because you want me to take over Z, or or are you saying you're wondering? Because the answer is no, I'm not taking over for Z. There's nobody can take over. Come on. How's that possible? But those words do echo in my brain sometimes when he's gone for a long period of letting our shit go the way of the dodo bird. And I understand him for that, because it was at one point like 2 years ago he got sick, and I remember I had a lot of anxiety and I didn't end up going live, but Post-Up didn't go live, J-Dub didn't go live, I should have like got us together and did some shit back then. So that's stuff like that comes to mind on these occasions. Like, that's what's the point of having a platform if you don't, take advantage, right? Bring your own platform. That's the way I look at it. At least when we do this, get together for a show. But this ain't a show. This is just me bullshitting. I'm just saying. Another rant. Pizza time. How about that? I'll just say that. Pizza time. But yeah, there's a lot going on. I mean, shit, we're gonna be having these fucking. They're gonna be having these goddamn hearings until September. So. I really do believe in the concept of, we're building the scaffolding of the disclosure, and of course it's controlled disclosure, so it's not like, but at least the discussion is there and we can finally somewhat act like adults, even though they're still treating us like fucking goddamn children. But shit, I got involved pre-Stephen Greer, and before I knew what any of that shit was, I was involved with fucking disclosure through like Stephen Bassett, which he ran the Paradigm Research. Well, actually, he started that later, but I was doing fucking getting signatures for that back in like fucking 96, maybe even earlier, 97, somewhere around there. But goddamn, and now Stephen Bassett, he's the first UFO lobbyist in Washington, and he's working on post-disclosure work because he's, you know, he already spent like 30, 40 years the other shit, and then other people took the ball. But so, you know, that's why this shit is kind of, it's important to me as far as the political aspect of it and getting some of this out. I mean, goddamn, it's been most of my life. You know, that was one of the first political movements that I really got involved in. I mean, not counting me, I get, you know, I wasn't really involved in. I was Green Party, but I wasn't out there fucking trying to, you know, I wasn't canvassing to get people to vote for Ralph Nader, let's put it that way. But I was way more involved in the, or tried to get involved more into the disclosure movement in the early days when it was just all ridicule. And it is basic as this, you know, secrecy. Just that's it. Like there wasn't really as much to go on, and definitely not evidence to bring to people to talk about it and push for it. And now it's like everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people are very educated on this stuff, and even the regular people have a very basic understanding of technologies being hidden away and national security used for, you know, basically, you know, destroying fucking alternative energies. And so people are aware of all that shit now, but back in fucking the 90s, it's like you told people that and they're just like, they think you're just like a fucking idiot. Like, yeah, sure, somebody made an over Unity machine, yeah, okay, I you know, they just think it's like horseshit pseudoscience and stuff. Let alone anti-gravitics. We're just talking about the power sources and shit, you know. Which I believe the true reason for a lot of this stuff going on is because they want to start monetizing some of these technologies more openly. And of course, if you're stuck on stuff, right? You're stuck on back engineering, let's say an extraterrestrial ship, there's only so much you can do behind the scenes in the fucking military or, you know, defense contractors. If you can't openly use universities and shit, and you're gonna be fucked eventually on some of that shit, you know, or you're gonna be hiring these guys out of universities and then you're gonna risk the secret getting out. So, and which is why I think they never really did that. You know, like they kept it in the private sector of corporations and defense contractors, military. So from the very beginning, it should have been, you know, opened up to our fucking best minds, but whatever. Can't turn it back now. Can't turn it back now. Let me see. Let me do this. I do want to check it on Diablo. See what my game looks like. It could be dog shit now. Let me see what's going down in Diablo. How do they screw me? Oh, I probably gotta do an update. Damn it. I don't want to. No. See, that's what I miss about PC. True. Yeah, gotta be legend. There was also there's some good sightings recently down in Costa Rica, by the way. And of course, one of my favorite saucer shots is from Costa Rica. Flying saucer shit. Yeah, there was like a pretty. I don't remember which one I'm thinking of, but yeah, there's of course there's always yeah, the volcanoes and then of course everything under. That's all you got to do is put a fucking camera in front of a volcano. You see that shit. That's actually a good video. In fact, it actually does a piece on Stephen Bassett in the movie, but there's a movie called, or a crappy documentary called Volcanic UFOs. I think it's called something Volcanic UFOs, but whoever put it together was weird because it's all about Jaime Maussan's research and this and the Popocatépetl or Mount Popo. And for some reason they cut it together with footage of like Stephen Bassett him being interviewed and talking about doing. It's very strange, but regardless, in the movie they show a lot of great footage of Mount Popo and all the UFO shit they've caught there. And actually there's been updates of it since, because there's an official publicly funded system that they put in the volcano and in front of the volcano, so people can literally go. And in fact, if I searched it, you could probably go look at a live feed right now, and that's how we've caught a lot of these. Basically, it's a public live feed of the fucking volcano, and if you want, you could just sit there and watch it all night, and and people have caught shit going in and out of the goddamn volcano. But the theories on that stuff make a lot of sense. First of all, they're fucking got some technology when you fly into those fucking that heat. Airplanes can't do that shit. Drone can't do that shit. The heat, it will instantly destroy whatever goes over that shit. So that rules that out. So obviously you got to have some kind of propulsion slash force field or whatever. But the other part is the electromagnetism that happens deep in volcanoes, which is you can totally measure this shit. And the theory is that that's your if you dematerialize and you're using you're basically using higher dimensions to travel or to disappear, or that's where you come from, whatever the case. Places with that kind of electromagnetism would make sense for either using that with your technology, or you make a portal there, or it'd be a good place to place some kind of wormhole technology to zip in and out of wherever or travel, because the energy is already there and the electromagnetism. That would explain a lot of shit, like you take Skinwalker Ranch, and why does it have such high strangeness there? It could be the electromagnetism and the rock, the kind of rock in that area. It's like copper rich, sand, and so that could explain that. But deep in a volcano, there's so much fucking electromagnetism that it's easy to understand why. Or maybe you just see them more in places that are more electromagnetic, right? Like somehow you're able to see them more, or you don't cloak as easily. I don't know. It's like Probably maybe a little of both. Jaime Maussan thinks that ETs go into those volcanoes sometimes because they can detect the electromagnetism and they do something to either, slow it down, which I wouldn't put it past some ET races of doing that because they've done the same with nuclear shit. That's another thing I want to get to, and I might get to that tomorrow if we do that live thing. But there's some weird shit going on. People behind the scenes who are in this field of ufology and getting really weird stuff. Like, I mean, I don't know. There was that some Reddit posts recently, but I think there's some video floating around. This is what I've heard. There's some video floating around that is really, this is what made the politicians really start going full bore on this. Like what makes Chuck Schumer decide, okay, I'm gonna get behind this? I mean, obviously, there's a calculation that goes on. If you're high up in any political party, you got to make those calculated. You can't just Tim Burchett coming out and saying, "Oh, this is different. He doesn't have any power, and he's not beholden to defense contractor money." So, but to get a senator like Chuck Schumer behind it, obviously he was making this calculation years ago. Like, this stuff been going on, but I've heard that they've been seeing some video that's in the closed briefings that are pretty interesting, that shows more engagement with our military, which is kind of scary too, because they can flip it into, like, what if they did have footage of a fucking UFO engaging back to us? And imagine they showed that to our politicians. Hey, look, these guys can zap us into dust. Like, holy shit, what an easy way to get fucking money out of and just get you to shut the fuck up on this black budget issue. You know what I mean? But the language they are putting in there, it's very fishy, but good at the same time, because I think you got to rip that band-aid off. So I should have had those documents ready to go so I could play them, but yeah, that could be it. Yeah, I forget what the name of that is. I think it's on Amazon. I think it's called Volcano or Volcanic UFO Mysteries or something. If you type in volcanic UFOs, it'll probably come up, but it just has good footage. It's not the best documentary, but it's got some good footage in there for sure. A compilation of footage. It's like, it's as clear as day. UFOs going in and out of a volcano. It's like, once or twice is one thing. You can, like, oh, that's a bird, whatever. But it's like, it's so many times, and you see, like, there's a couple where it's like a saucer, fucking clear as day, flying saucer going in there, and it stops on a dime, turns on. I mean, it's like, there's just, like, it's so obvious, Not to mention they'll disappear right into the fucking volcano. It's like, if that's a drone or an airplane, it's like, what are you, just destroying a drone to fly it into a volcano for no reason? Like, why? I'm gonna randomly fly my drone into the volcano. Maybe somebody will get it on video and they'll think it's a UFO. That doesn't really make any sense. Now that sounds like a conspiracy. Oh, the formation of the rocks. Well, I think it's possible that some ETs have actually been, especially if you factor in the fact that these bodies that they found, at least originally, they're not like extraterrestrial life forms. They're like avatar puppet bodies, right? And Colonel Corso said there was some temporal thing to him, not just made for space flight, but made to dematerialize, materialize, and possibly temporal time travels type stuff. So you could have ETs fucking with these volcanoes and they can flip back and forth in time and fucking deal with this shit. So I mean, who knows? There are puppet bodies that can withstand that shit, so going, you know, without getting sick. I don't think they have to worry about getting nauseous after going to space, getting radiation. Probably impervious to all that shit. Their skin isn't even fucking like regular skin. It's like fucking like fabric-y. Weird. Hard to cut. It's like built into the flesh. Farewell to the flesh, actually. I gotta have something to play. Hold on. There was some thing I wanted to see. I was reading this book too. Just to get a more well-rounded on the abduction phenomenon. I was reading some David Jacobs, which is the super scary version of what you know, I mean, they're talking, that guy's like thinks that it's a damn alien takeover through hybridization and shit, and there's something to it, but some of that shit, I don't know, it just doesn't seem not that it doesn't seem plausible, it just you just think it doesn't seem logical from the perspective of an ET. That's all. I don't know why, but maybe not. Maybe that is how you do it. You just hybridize yourself into other societies. Maybe that's how it's always been, and it's not a takeover. But the problem is they don't talk back. They don't explain it. No. And I went back to some old, been going back to old stuff to brush up on because of this crash retrieval language that's come up lately. I've been going back to the original stuff. I read Matilda McElroy's book. Well, I'm reading through it again right now, but that's she was a nurse and during Roswell, and she wrote a book about interviewing the extraterrestrial, and then of course Colonel Corso's book Day After Roswell, which he has a little piece of it from his side of being in the army. He wasn't privy to everything, and that's the thing, they don't fucking, even the people that are insiders don't have all the fucking facts. They just got little pieces, so yeah, it's crazy. So you do kind of have to be one of those weirdos with the fucking all the pins on the wall and shit, and it's a fucking puzzle and shit. Or not. Maybe I'm full of shit. Maybe none of it is true. Maybe there is no hearing. Maybe the ABK deal didn't happen. Maybe there is no ABK. I know that Twitter turned into shitter. That's a new one. That one happened. Or I don't know. Could be bullshit. I'm looking at Twitter right now. I'm seeing if anything has happened today. Definitely not in gaming. Nobody's got anything to say on that. Fucking dog shit. Damn, console wars never end, do they? I don't think anybody's got anything to say about that. We're in like a holding pattern right now when it comes to console warring. But yeah, I do believe it though, as far as what we're in the middle of. It is what it is. I just wish we could do a expand your mind on it, you know, late night. Looking for that interview with Stephen Bassett. I can play it while I go have a fucking smoke. Something. But yeah, I was gonna, if anybody else had any shock, I was gonna give them some coping skills to deal with it, but I guess nobody cares. I do want to watch this Star Trek Resurgence thing though. For some reason, I didn't know that there was a fucking Star Trek game coming out. I'm a big TNG Star Trek Prime fan. You know, like Deep Space Nine, and not so much Voyager, although I watched a little bit of it, and I of course played the PC games. What was that called? Elite Squadron or whatever. They were like these FPSs that used Star Trek, made them action and shit, but wish there was it would have been a better Deep Space Nine game back in the day, but whatever. But yeah, I want to show you this. This is like a Telltale type of game, I guess. Looks cool though. I mean, just because of the setting. I mean, I'm a fanboy, so I'm a Trekkie / Trekker. I don't know why it's not working right now. Oh, Elgato. That's why. Yeah, I want to play this real quick. Star Trek theme song from Star Trek. Oh, wrong one. Hopefully they don't play any music.
Stardate 57931.4. The crew is restless.
Previously on Star Trek.
Spending too many months piecing our ship back together. Finally about to venture out on a new mission.
Spock. Too soon?
And the crew isn't letting this unprecedented ion storm slow them down. They're ready for something different. I know I am. Perhaps more than any of them. Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy. The Nature of the universe. Change is inevitable. And while entropy says order gives way to chaos, in this case, change is good. Our new first officer is en route to the Resolute. Jara Rydek. I know she'll bring a welcome dose of new blood to the crew.
Thanks.
No problem.
I'm not great with flying. But these little shuttles are the worst.
And I hate
Here's
them.
a tip. Don't close your eyes. You'd think that would make it easier, but it only makes it worse. Look out the window, pick a star, and just focus on that.
I'll give it a try. Sorry, I'm a little anxious.
I hadn't noticed.
I'm on my way to my first assignment. When we get to the starbase, I'm transferring on to the Resolute.
So am I.
It won't be easy for Jara to step in at the 11th hour like this. But if she's half the officer I knew she could become when she was a cadet at Starfleet Academy, she'll be the XO this ship needs right now.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the Academy.
Oh yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalin test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintaris 5. Anyway, I finished in the top 20. Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history of the Academy. So, there's that.
Only top 20, huh? So I guess there's room for improvement.
Well, it's really, really hard.
So I've heard.
Please place your hand here. Hold it there for a few seconds. Welcome, Commander Rydek.
Wait, you're Jara Rydek? You absolutely crushed the Torvalin test. You finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
Now I'm really... It's an honor to meet you, Commander. Sorry, I didn't realize before. I just came off the shuttle and was glad to be on solid ground.
When people say top 3, what they really mean is 3rd place. I'm not first, so there's always room for improvement.
I'll, keep working then.
I believe Commander Ermot is expecting you. He's in the concourse just ahead.
See you on the Resolute.
Good day, Commander.
If I remember my briefing, Commander Ermont is a Bolian, so I'm looking for someone with blue skin. Starbase 128 has 4 docks. I'll replicate myself a meal once I'm on board. Excuse me.
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, Commander Rydek. I'm Commander Jan Ermont, Operations Officer on the Resolute. Commander? I hope there wasn't too much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy for us right now.
It was a bit bumpy, but otherwise okay.
My apologies. This storm is unlike anything I've seen before. We're grateful you were able to come fill our first officer vacancy at such short notice. From everything I've read and everything I've heard, we're lucky you were available to us. Coming from a premier starship and all. To our little research vessel.
What exactly have you heard about me?
First in your class at the Academy. Received the Starfleet Award of Valor during the Dominion War. Most recently, Tactical Officer and Chief of Security on the USS Endeavor.
You've done your homework.
Like I said, we're very lucky. The USS Resolute. She may not look like much compared to the bigger ships, but as far as science vessels go, she can more than hold her own. And she doesn't look so bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
Equipment malfunction. An accident suggests fault, but no one's to blame. It was a planned test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits. It destabilized the dilithium, there was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed. We thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle. Cost us our first officer and 22 of our crew. At the end of the day, we're all responsible for each other.
To have lost so many lives. That's a high price to pay.
Too high by any estimation. But there's nothing that can be done about it now except get back to work. And make sure it never happens again. Listen. I realize you've known Captain Solana for quite some time. And I'm sure you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly at first.
Thank you. Always good to have a sense for what you're walking into.
I just thought you ought to know.
I appreciate it.
Starfleet has assigned us a high-priority mission to the Hotari region. I'll let the captain brief you on board. I know he's eager to see you.
Will we be mission ready in time?
We have every intention. The crew has been working around the clock to get the ship ready. There's still so much to do.
Wow.
Stuck.
Suck.
I got just the thing.
I'll ask Commander Data to do it for me. Wouldn't that be easier? Or Spock? Dude, just call Odo. He could go into the lock. Or O'Brien. Chief O'Brien. Chief O'Brien better be in the game, actually. Robots in disguise. Wow, this guy looks pretty smart.
That
He's a smart guy.
is that.
The end. Game beat. Wait, now it's like that Star Wars game.
I thought the thing was totally fried. Nice work, Carter.
Nothing to it, Nelly.
And not a moment too soon. The boss wants us down in engineering. Like, now.
Who's the boss? Who's it gonna be? It's Spock. It can't be Picard, right? Maybe it is Data. It is engineering, right? Maybe it's Deanna Troi.
Engineer.
The boss could be anyone.
I heard the new XO just arrived. Won't be long before we get underway. I just hope
Hey, she's a krill.
Sherlock called us down for it's something good. I can never tell with him. I'd rather not end up degaussing plasma manifolds. Hanging upside down makes me queasy.
You and me working together? We can tackle anything he throws at us.
Your optimism is positively contagious.
And truly outrageous.
Looks like we got here before.
Lieutenant Commander Chovak.
Oh,
We were just looking for you,
Chovak.
Commander.
Who the hell's that?
Petty Officers Ed Solar.
I'm not Spock.
I was
Do you buy
beginning to
that?
think you would be late. We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you. Point I have been forced to make to Petty Officer.
Maybe it's
Solar
Spock's
on
other
repeated occasions.
sibling that we didn't know about.
Apologies for the delay, Commander.
I do not want your apologies. Simply see to it that it does not happen again.
Oh,
So, I don't suppose you wanted us down here to check in before we go off duty?
Equip yourselves in EV suits to work on the exterior of the hull. I need you to tune the structural integrity field for optimal
the hell's an
performance.
EV suit?
The subspace distortions and ionic interference we are experiencing are preventing the proper calibration. But this ship must be ready to depart.
I should just get this
shortly,
game.
despite the storm. The precise nature of these disturbances are not.
I
fully
saw
understood.
digital for like
Many
$8.
systems have been affected by the wide band of emissive activity.
Whatever it throws at us, we'll be ready.
I have to do that,
Got the best chief engineer in the fleet.
what you call it
I
though?
am a Vulcan, Mr. Diaz. Flattery is not necessary. All that I require is that you do your job. Right now, that entails critical preparations, because long-range sensors
I'm using a VPN
will be more severe at our destination.
to get the download code.
You have your orders. Do not delay.
Yes,
Roger
Commander
that.
Chovak.
Chovak.
All hands on
So not
deck.
Tuvok and not Chakotay. Chovak.
What's that?
All hands on deck. That's what Chovak said. You know what that means? It means this ship isn't ready to go out, and the brass know
It
it.
means keep your hands off of me.
So they're throwing every warm body at it. And they're going to leave on schedule. Consequences be damned.
It all comes down to us, Nelly. We're the ones who will get it ready.
I know what we can do. But this isn't just any old refit or any old relaunch.
Oh, whoa.
Excuse me.
This is a reboot.
A lot
Wait,
of
that
new
was a
faces coming
pickpocket.
on board.
You better go back.
Gotta be tough coming as a replacement. That's for sure.
They may not be the same crew we started out with, but they're still Starfleet. They'll know what to do when the time comes.
I prefer the scientific method. Evidence over assumptions. Hold on. Now there's an old face I didn't expect to see again. Hey, Miranda.
You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
Miranda, you're here.
Miranda. It's
We
her.
thought you were staying on the
Who?
Adirondack.
Transfer came in at the last minute, so I figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts.
Are we supposed to know who Miranda is?
You nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect.
I'm gonna take the high road here, pretend you didn't say that, and welcome you aboard.
He's a better diplomat than I am.
He still owes me a bottle of Saurian brandy. Don't think I forgot.
Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Maybe Carter can rustle up that bottle and we can give you a proper welcome. As soon as we wrap up this quick little spacewalk.
Here, let me help you.
Thanks.
So what's the word? Are you back in the security rotation?
Yep.
Thunderbird.
Still running with the usual suspects.
Whoa.
Good to go.
Time to die. Get your red shirt on.
See you on the other side.
Activating magnetic souls.
Wee. Going base jumping?
That view never gets old.
Let's go.
What? Oh. Boo. Well, that sucks.
Hi, everyone. This is Senka from...
The Senate received massive amounts of praise and publicity and coverage for the House. Subcommittee chaired the subcommittee of
This guy is just as bald as he ever was.
Welcome. What have you learned? What's a committee meeting?
What we have is a subcommittee of the House Oversight Committee, the larger Oversight Committee, which the Oversight Committee is chaired by James Comer, who I'm pretty sure will be chairing the subcommittee. The subcommittee on this and that, whatever.
And all the fake committees trying to
is that the
talk about Hunter Biden
and the House have
oh,
been
that
watching,
horseshit.
The Senate received massive amounts of praise and publicity and coverage for their major moves with respect to the last 3 years of legislation.
Yeah, see, then that's what I have to give props to as far as the House portion. We're just filled with a lot of MAGA people right now. But yeah, I think it's still important because they're really good at getting attention, getting media attention. Hopefully the media doesn't, you know, start paying attention to it through those guys, and then down the line, because they were already fucking talking about it and they're so out there, fucking some of these populist Republicans, you know, with the conspiracies and shit. Hopefully that doesn't make the media turn around the other way when the fucking, you know, more even more bipartisan hearings start happening. So hopefully the fucking media doesn't blow their load, and because I always see it as like it's a snowball. Like it's the only way with the media is if it snowballs and people start seeing dollar signs in the disclosure, you know, like holy shit, people are really, you know, into this, and the ratings, and you know what I mean, being such a huge story, people can't not report it, is my point, even if you are propaganda media. So hopefully that kind of thing happens, but we'll see.
Rubio, Gillibrand, Warner, in that order.
Plus you need as many bodies on the subject as possible. So you're a little cuckoo. Oh wow.
Majority Leader Schumer just announced that he is putting
Like that Tim Burchett guy.
Into the
99.9% of the time, I think he's a fucking moron.
And that language, which will go in the form of an amendment,
fucking populist,
is called the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Disclosure Act. Now, there's a tragedy here because I've been moving into my office, a new office in Washington, the National Press Building, for 4 days. Nearly killed me. I could die right now and have a stroke, frankly. Brutal. So I've been busy with that. I haven't been
moving boxes
up. And
could
so
kill you.
I was up on the Hill yesterday, visiting the offices of every single member of the Senate Intel Committee. There are 17, to just do a little get to know and give them some cards and chat it up with the staff. Ahead of what I know, pretty sure will be the Senate Intel Committee hearings coming in September.
Pardon me?
And I just left the Schumer's office, talking to his staff, some of his people, when I got a text and telling me what the bill was. The Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Disclosure Bill. Now, if I had gotten that news ahead of time, I would have just grilled.
Now it's getting hot in this room.
Why did the word disclosure get into the title of this bill? Is that just, they just kind of felt, I like that term, or was there something in red or whatever? But of course, I am going to double back on that and find out. But of course, am I pleased? Oh, God, yes. It is the first time the word disclosure has been used with respect to this
a noob Cybot? What's a Cybot?
Probably
you mean Shebot
on the planet, which is just one of 10,000 reasons why we're heading for disclosure.
You didn't know?
This year, I believe.
Elon just turned Xbots into Shebots. You didn't hear about that?
The original point, assuming I can find it.
It's not Cybot. It's Shebot.
The house is going, well, we're not potted plants down here.
Unless you're referencing Cybok.
An equal member of the
from Star Trek, which was Spock's other brother.
Just a little differently formed. And
apparently he had a lot of
some of this glory too.
Siblings that we didn't know about.
This to going back 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
Oh.
When if you brought up the term UFO, people fled.
I haven't played Mortal Kombat since Mortal Kombat 2 or 3. So. Now
they're competing to see who can get more of that.
I'm not familiar with the Mortal Kombat cinematic universe.
The Oversight Committee and James Comer made his move. Now, this is not the committee should be starting the hearings.
Where's it going to get the media?
It sort of touches on the subcommittee. It's not ridiculous, but
it gets the media ball rolling, so I'm for it.
It's the biggest issue in the history of the United States. It'll be the biggest news story of all time. And so there should be a sort of sense of protocol here. But
well, you want to do the House one first. You don't want that one.
And so
after.
They essentially pulled the rug out from under Mark Warner and the Senate, and they're holding their first hearing. Now, the question that I had immediately when I read that a few weeks ago is, what witnesses will they get? Because
they're going to be the shitty witnesses now.
Doesn't mean you get witnesses. If they don't want to come, they're not going to come. And if they're committed to another hearing with another committee in the Congress, they won't come. Now, you could get them to come by subpoenaing them, but if that would be a huge mistake for the
damn man, I just grabbed the yogurt and I left it at
subpoena any one of these witnesses. And so I was intrigued by that. And now we know. Not too bad.
We know you're slick blow.
Brian Grays, David Fravor, and he got, and this is a big get, David Grush. I thought Grush might hold out, but the truth is, David Grush came forward early and essentially dropped something or another into the punch bowl and got things out ahead of the time frame away. And created quite a stir. Not because he wanted to create a stir, not because so much that he wanted to cause a problem, but because he was still getting harassed and some threats, and he ultimately decided that he needed to go public in a
harassed
way.
Like a true Virgil
helped him in that regard. They would have liked.
He's harassing me. No, I'm just kidding.
The Washington Post, New York Times need a little more advance notice on a story of this magnitude. They'll get around to it, but they went with the debrief, which is great. Quality journalists love these guys. And of course, the News Nation interview by Ross Coulthard. Why? Because he wanted to get more protection and get out there because he was concerned. And so it doesn't surprise me that he agreed to come and interview in the Oversight Subcommittee, because the sooner he wants to advance this further and do what he set out to do. I'm sure he'll be testifying in front of the Senate Intel Committee as well. So this is going to be essentially the first act in a big, big show, a big Vegas show. The Oversight Committee is the first act. The big act, the main act, will be the Intel Committee in September. And that's fine. The press and the public will have a whole month of August to sort of chew over this and read lots of articles and read Richard Dolan's books, because the Congress is going to be completely out of session through the entire month of August.
They're hoping that it just dies off by September.
Make a really bold move. I don't think he'll do this, and do a force majeure hearing in which he forces members of the House Intel Committee to come back during their recess in August, specifically to take testimony on this. That would really generate some media and a big audience, but might not be as constructive as he wants. And so the opening act starts next week. I am doing everything I can to make sure I am in that room. And if I'm not in that room, it won't be for lack of trying, I can assure you. I'm prepared to bribe. I'm prepared to give favors.
I'm prepared to get on my knees. Oh, wait, no, sorry.
To get in that room. And hopefully I will be there. And we'll see how it goes. The other questions
super exciting. For those of you who just joined us, you can find Steve Bassett at
I've never seen this chick before.
He has been, as a UFO lobbyist, so to speak, for decades and decades. And he's talking about what's going to be happening on Wednesday in the committee for oversight. It is called the Committee on Oversight and Accountability. Yeah. So I was told that they may be putting on the floor an idea that it's going to be illegal for anybody in the government to withhold information about UAPs and UFOs. Have you heard anything about that?
No, that's not it. The legislation that is being put forward, essentially under the aegis of Chuck Schumer, but is not law yet. It's legislation in the Senate text. It's up on the Senate site now. Talks about he's addressing. First of all, the reason he's doing it all is because he's sending a green light to the entire Senate, particularly the three key committees, the Intel, Armed Services, and Appropriations, that I'm good. I'm good with this. I'm fine. I'm the majority leader, and I'm down with this. You keep on going, folks. So that's the principal reason why he did it. But he's focusing. Somebody had to do something after Grush came forward and said, a couple of USAP insiders told me personally,
what's going down anyway, Mozam Schmick?
Working with the UAP task force,
anything new?
That we have crashed non-human vehicles and bodies. Well, that wasn't supposed to come out until after disclosure, or perhaps during the major hearing. Well, that's been hanging out there in the air, just sort of swinging around. Most of the journalists are going, go there. Because they know if in order to do that, they've got to get some response from somebody, and nobody's going to do it. And so but I'll give Grush credit. He lit a fire, and by God, he's going to be properly rewarded. I think history will be very kind to him. But to give me an example, not long after he came out and said that we had bodies in ET vehicles, essentially, somebody in the White House briefing room asked Jean-Pierre, do you have anything to say about the bodies and the technology? And she said something like, no, I really can't get into that now, and moved on. All right, well, this is not good. We don't want this. And so, in any event,
that the bodies hit the floor.
Decided somebody has got to do something here. What do we do? So he puts this language out where he's saying that 300 days, and by the way, forget about time frames like 300 days. That's all part of the scaffolding and the stuff you do. It is absolutely irrelevant to the time frame.
What about the 25 years
right now? 300 days. Those of you who have ET tech need to let us know about that, whether you're in government or in civilian areas. All right. And I think, if I'm not understanding, I don't have the exact wording of the bill, but the interpretation that I think I have correct is that essentially he is saying if this bill passes with this language, that the United States government, and I'm assuming that refers to, and this will refer to anybody in the United States or its territories, has the rights to any non-human technology that you may have come across, right? While you were out, spelunking or whatever, and you just came across a zero energy system or bits of the craft or something, and you took it home and have been trying to get in touch with MUFON about that. No, we own that. Now, this is extremely cool in a way. And just a glimpse of what is coming in the post-disclosure world. And I'm referring to things like, what are the patent rights? Should there be any patent rights?
Oh man, that shit's gonna get tied up in courts forever.
By the United States government from non-human off-world vehicles. Can they farm that out to some nice aerospace companies so they're stocking?
Yeah, Lockheed Martin's going to say, no, the Army Air Force gave this to us.
Be open?
That's what they'll be like.
Or belong to the American
Can't
people.
take it back
this
now.
Is just the beginning of
80 years later
questions that are going to happen and going to be dealt with.
Probably Supreme Court.
No problem. That's life. This will be mostly post-disclosure.
I mean, goddamn, that could go on 20 years.
Does the United States have the right to take non-human technology that you happen to have? Well, I can tell you in 1947, they sure as hell thought they did, because they went to see every single person that even remotely came close to that wreckage.
They threatened everybody that lived in Roswell. The little kids were fucking threatened.
Quite clear.
It's insane.
And said, we want anything you have. And if you don't give it to us, we're going to take you out in the desert and you're not going to come back, and so forth and so forth. They threatened a lot of people. Well, that was a long time ago. And we're expecting a little more civility from our national security representatives. And so he's basically saying, look, folks, this is a serious matter. If you have non-human tech, we're going to want it. And if you don't provide it, the consequences, and then I don't know if they go into the consequences, could be severe. And this is not inappropriate. After disclosure, after the president confirms the ET presence, there would be plenty of time for the lawyers and any other nonprofits and or corporations to sit down and discuss what to do with the ET tech or devices and technology derived from the ET tech.
Yeah.
Hopefully in service to the American people and the world, not in service to making submarines even more dangerous.
Crawling around over here. I don't have my spider bucket. I had to put him in a cup.
Point, because I'm sitting here thinking like, well,
Jimmy John's cup.
I'm thinking that, this wasn't just a one-off thing that we had one crash way back then, and then we're reverse engineering. It's like,
a fast little fucking spider.
Open contact that is peaceful. And if
for peaceful purposes only,
of like the confusion and shock and fear and all the stuff, then we can literally collaborate in a more open way, and it won't be such that one person gets the information and another person doesn't. The other life forms will choose who they interface with, so that's good.
Well, the ET is going to do whatever they want. But Zenka, let me ask you something. Do you feel confused?
Do I feel confused?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying that I think that this is, no matter how long you've been in this field and no matter how much you wish this to be true, I think there is going to be a shock that's going to ripple through our society, and it's going to be exciting and it's going to be fun. And I'm like, let's do the galactic renaissance. But I think like we're going to need a moment.
Are you confused?
About what?
About this issue, what's going on? Is it confusing you?
No, I mean...
Is it shocking you?
Well, I'm excited about it and I'm waiting for it, but I'm also realizing that even though my mind is ready, it's like I don't think we should underestimate the sea change, the paradigm, to use your company's name, the shift in our minds that it's like you said, there's no going back from this. There's no there's no undo button. Once everybody on the planet knows that our universe is a lot bigger than we thought, and by the way, like, we are going to be collaborating and interacting and selling and socially interacting with beings that are not human. I mean, this is exciting.
Open contact, that's later. I mean, I don't see open contact for another couple of years.
Yeah.
So
The
president doesn't mean that he's going to show up at the podium with some ETs. But
right.
What I'm getting to is this: you're absolutely right. We don't want to underestimate the total the breadth of change.
Yeah.
And that can take place from this.
Yeah.
But we don't want to overestimate, quote, how confused and shocked people are going to be. This is an artifact of the truth embargo. Let me give you a case in point.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Prior to going to all of the 17 Intel offices,
those people
Intel
are going to, they're not going to believe it anyway.
I went to 43 of the 46.
And people are going to say they're demons. They believe in demons already, so it doesn't make any difference.
Committee member offices, right? The heat here is 94. That's why I'm a little right now. And
high up military men,
the member of the chief of staff. What I did is I walked in.
That's a different story.
The front people, the front office people,
because they believe in demons as well. So that's not a good thing.
They tend to be younger, right? Oftentimes they're interns working the front desk, or some of the younger aides, right? So we're talking a lot. And let me tell you something. It's really straightforward. All right, these young millennials are underwhelmed by this. In other words, it's like, of course there's extraterrestrials here. Yeah, I knew that. No big deal. I can't get carried away because I'm new to them. They don't know who I am. But I assure you, they are quite ready for this. And so I don't
some
know.
Of them
there's
are actually hybrids. So
out there, maybe
yeah,
a couple of the skeptics, which are hanging around on UFO Twitter these days, making fools of themselves with a ghost of Phil Klass hanging behind them. But overall, we are absolutely ready for this. I assure you. And anybody in Congress that asks me, I'm going to tell them, we're so ready that if you don't do it, you're going to have to find another line of work. All right. So yeah, shock, confusion, nah. You know what shock and confusion is? Shock and confusion is living in the northern parts of Ukraine when the Russian tanks
or the post-ABK deal.
That's shock and confusion.
World we're in.
There's been a lot of that going on. Shock and confusion is when a new virus turns up and the politicians go out of their mind and start babbling and speaking in tongues and not doing what's necessary to avoid maybe an extra 5 million people dying. That's shock and confusion. The ET is ripe, ready, pop out, 76 years in uterus. Nobody is going to be shocked and confused.
Avi Loeb said that, more people believe in UFOs.
More people.
You know what I mean? Which I think it was 60%. I can't remember.
They were saying that back in the 60s, though.
I think it's really great.
I've listened to
Avi obviously was
investigators from the 50s and 60s. It was amazing how ufologists, even back in like the mid 60s, were saying the same thing, using studies and polls. So that doesn't really matter, And they were saying it was like 50 to 60% back then. So I don't know
what the statistic was. So I think it's really great.
Avi obviously was feeling, a little expansive.
Avi Arad.
I don't know if those numbers could be confirmed. I remember a long time ago when I think it was John Lennon said the Beatles were more famous than God. Did not go well. So I'm just going to back in.
I know it's a little bit crazy to even say that, but I think you're right. I mean, everyone already knows, but it's going to be great to have this be more official, and it's going to be great to have this law on the books that says, it is definitely illegal to, hide information that we have. And so hopefully the oversight committee is going to be knocking things forward. You know, it's one thing for Grush to say something, it's another thing to say it on record. And so all this stuff that's on record and all these witnesses that are coming forward are very honored by you and I and other people who've been waiting for this to come out. And it didn't need to take 75 years, but here we go. I hope that the fight over money or the fight over war is minimized, and we just get excited about all the opportunities that we're going to have. Because yeah.
We have an opportunity here soon to make a decision whether we want to continue to run the world this way. Prior to what's about to happen, not a chance that was going to get any serious consideration, other than the odd program here and the odd program there and the odd anecdote here that seems to imply, well, somebody is doing something. No, we're on the road to hell. All right, sad simple.
We're on the
10,000 years on, haven't changed. Only the weapons have gotten more dangerous, broader, more money is spent on them. They can kill more people sooner. That's pretty much where we're at. And after killing hundreds and hundreds of millions of our own species, we're now trying to kill off the whole freaking planet. And so, no, nothing is going to change.
So you played
unless
Spider-Man
something of a magnitude like Disclosure.
Oh God,
like
I fucking bought it,
and perhaps even Open Contact takes place.
Yeah.
So, and I've told
it was a big deal when it came when that game came out.
I typically said to them,
yeah, it was a cash grab. They didn't tell the PC people that. I guess there was an embargo on the reviews. So when the game dropped, it dropped, you know, like everywhere, or I don't know, but you know, all the media we had was on the PC or on the PS2 game, and it was getting all this like good reviews, like, hey, this is a really good game. It's kind of open world. It's
the exposure and all that.
And the PC version, right? It's the exact same box art. Everything. We just like there was no marketing to tell us, hey, by the way, the PC version is a point and click like kids game.
It's a different game.
My God, it was so. I remember like it took me even a while playing it to realize that it was different. I thought it was just like a training thing. Like I thought because when you start swinging around, it's like you point to like the ends of the buildings. But I thought it was training. I'm like, and it just like kept going. I'm like, what is this? What is this shit?
It was.
And then it was, different. and then so there was a lot of people like me online complaining the next day, like, you guys totally. Oh my God, it was bad. It was basically Activision. It was a heist. They just like, they knew it was fucking gonna, you know, they just wanted that money. And they couldn't at least change the box art and put something on there on the label that said like, this one's for like toddlers. You know what I mean? It's like, wow. Oh, that was bad. I don't know how you found out about that game, but man, that's still painful.
I played it like years ago or something. I was looking up some with Spider-Man 2 with PC.
In fact, let me play this. I was showing UFO stuff on YouTube. I'm kind of live. I'm about to wrap it up, but I might as well show that. I wasn't doing a show or anything, just fucking around, just bugging out. Dude, tomorrow's gonna be a UFO hearing though, so I was letting people know that I'm gonna do that tomorrow. This is the pre-disclosure disclosure. Even though we've already had disclosure. It's the summer of disclosure. That's why I wish Z was here, man. He's not experiencing it, man. We've been following this shit for our whole lives, and he's not here, you know. I've been telling him for a while that this, you know, we were gonna get disclosure and shit. But whatever. I have to catch him up on that. I don't know, everything. I doubt he's paying too much attention to it. How do I get this on there? Wide. I'm trying to show that Spider-Man shit. Hold on. But that's the long play. I don't want that. Squishy. Let's try this. Okay, this guy, this is the game, but this guy upped it to 4K. It still gives you an idea of how crappy it was, though.
Thank you for coming, ladies and gentlemen. You are all about to witness the dawning of a new age.
At least they had the real voices.
The power of a son is now ours.
Oh, they just took that from the movie. Oh my god, I forgot how bad that was. They just used clips from the movie. That is hilarious. They couldn't even use the shit that was in the game, which had a lot of dialogue, you know? That was a great game, too. I didn't get to play as much of Spider-Man 2 when it came out because I didn't have a PS2, but I had the first one. Spider-Man 1.
You played the 2002 one?
Yeah, for the first movie, and I loved that game. I thought that was a great Spider-Man game. And then 2, I wanted to play 2 so bad, but I didn't have a PS2. So I got the you know.
Peter?
So I think the first one was on PC, or either that or I played it on GameCube. I don't remember which one, but I probably played it on GameCube. You could play through the game again as Green Goblin. That was awesome. But yeah, this game it still burns me.
It does. This game. I just look at it like PC gaming was different. It was different back in them days.
Yeah, just it was the market.
Looking sharp as always.
They thought they could make
Let's run through the
money off of the
You're not that bright. No offense.
These smaller games, these for kids. You could sell them at truck stops and shit, and really people with cheap. You didn't have to have a good PC for this. There were requirements. It's like there were signs that it was going to be crappy, but you don't really see them until afterwards when you realize, oh, this can run on any, you know, a trucker at the gas station. If they saw this game, they'd be able to run it on their crappy laptop. You know, it's like
you're a wall crawler, right? All right, so let's crawl up.
This is abandonware, by the way.
To jump on.
Is it?
Use your direction keys to crawl.
It is.
Make your way up to the check.
Good.
It's that weird-looking doodad there. I'm not going
doesn't deserve to be not abandoned.
Delightful.
Should have been abandoned right away as soon as it got my money.
Sign over there and zip across to the
how much did you pay for?
How hard can it be, right? Go ahead.
I don't remember, but that should have been another sign because I might have got it really cheap. The fact that it was cheap should have been a sign because.
Let's try your double jump. Just click your right mouse button twice and double jump up.
You know, because it was definitely a budget title. I mean, you know, this ain't no $50 game. This ain't a $60 game. This is like a $20 fucking PC game, you know. And it's not like we didn't have good ports back then. We had, you know, for some games, and we had big.
What's funny about this, though, Buck? That 2002 game was the same game as the console version.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's why it was a total ripoff. They knew that this was going to trick people. Because it was only 2 years before. It wasn't that long ago. It was like, you know, Activision was making sure PC was fed as well and had to port out. And there was no indication at all. In fact, I didn't see any reviewers mention this stupid game until weeks or months after it came out. So there was definitely some shenanigans there. Like, you know, I'm sure somebody at IGN and all those places saw this and was like, okay, we gotta let people know this is fucked up, but they didn't.
Next up.
Ridiculous. At least it had Bruce Campbell still in there. But... yeah, see, I still didn't know when I was playing this. I'm playing it and I'm like, wow, these graphics on the console are pretty crappy. That's all I was thinking. And I thought it was just all training and it's gonna get opened up. Yeah, this game. Ugh. I don't think I even finished it. Yeah, but so when you went and found this, you had known. So imagine playing this thinking this was the actual game.
What kind of mileage you get?
Okay, how many times do I gotta do this crap?
Here we are, boys. The city prison.
This is what people are saying is a really good game. This isn't even as good as the first one. That's what was ridiculous. It was like, first one was amazing compared to this. Oh god, I totally remember this whole prison thing. Doing this. This is like stuff of my nightmares. This is totally from my nightmares, man. Holy shit. That's amazing. You can play something 20 years ago and you can like remember it like you just played it yesterday.
Hey, that's not funny.
That's crazy. Definitely not amazing. Cool costume though. That costume always did look good on in the video games.
Mind if I lend a hand?
Get a load of these fists, man.
They all hate Spider-Man. Not one criminal is like, hey, that's Spider-Man. I like that guy. And then he just murders them. Wow. Nuclear bomb. Hey, look everyone! It's Spider-Man! I should have known when those points were coming up too. Like, what the hell is that? And the whole cursor thing with the spider, I wasn't thinking too much of that either because I'm like, oh, they had to do something different because it's the PC version. What? You know? And you're using the mouse, so I thought they were just trying something different, but I still thought it was, took me a while to figure out it wasn't even the same fucking game. Like that shit, where the guys disappear and you're getting points, like what the I just thought it was training or something. It's like, okay, this is just the training and then the real game starts after all this crap. And it never started. I wish I had fucking footage of that. Like, you know, recorded my reaction to it. That would be amazing. I used to record footage back then too.
You did?
Yeah. Game, well, wasn't like, I didn't set it up to where like you could hear my reaction and all that shit, but I used to take game footage all the time, yeah.
Sounds like trouble.
I have game footage from like testing the very first Unreal game, the very first one on PC. Like it was the game hadn't even come out yet. It was like the demo too, but just getting it to run on the PC and fucking marveling at how beautiful this new engine was. Because that first Unreal, I mean, I don't know, you would have had to be there, but you know, we were going from Quake to Quake. There. Yeah. It was fine. It's something to be on par with Quake, and it was like the colors and the There was just a lot of tech in there, you know, that was cool. So we were like, I was like videotaping it and shit. I gotta find that video somewhere. Capture it. It did look beautiful, man. It was amazing how the particle effects and the lighting. I'm not a tech guy, so but very rudimentary understanding. Yes. Look, everyone, explain to me. Now I'm mixing this part up, this Rhino thing, with fighting him. There was a long, drawn-out fight with Rhino in I don't know if you played Ultimate Spider-Man.
No, I didn't play it.
That was a good one. For a more low.
I did play Spider-Man 3 and then Web of Shadows.
Yeah, I never played Web of Shadows. I watched a lot of it.
Oh, you watched it?
Well, I've seen footage of it. I probably watched videos of people going through that game, and then the one at the other multiverse one that they had.
Dimensions.
Yeah, whatever that was, but because I mean I was just checking it out because it had $20.99, you know. It's like, oh, I gotta see it, but they were a little more budget. But in that era of Spider-Man budget titles, I think the Ultimate one was pretty decent. Because, you know, they got Brian Bendis to fucking do the... It actually fit with the comic, too. If you read Ultimate Spider-Man, like there's a portion, I think it was in the first volume, where he goes off and does an adventure, and it was basically what happened in the game. So if you played the game, it's like a side story from the actual comic, which is cool. So it's canon. And you got to play as Venom, which was dope. It was cel shaded though, but it worked because it was in the art style of the comic, you know. I love Mark Bagley. Who doesn't love Mark Bagley? Especially his Ultimate Spider-Man.
I'm gonna clobber you for that, punk.
Well, no, I like his Amazing Spider-Man better. But.
Don't you know when to give up? Can't we all just get along?
He said it. He said it. Hoorah.
Gotta put these fires out. I'll catch up with you, Ock.
Ock. Aka. I'm gonna have to put this in my title of the video too, that I talked about this stupid game and watched footage with Lavon.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Hey.
I'm watching the Spider-Man 2 PC
version.
Yeah, from 2004.
That was one of the best Spider-Man games.
Well, not this version.
The console version.
Yeah, the PS2 version.
Version was good. Yeah.
I got ripped off. Oh! The Spider-Man game before the Spider-Man movie was a good game too. I forgot that. I love that game.
2000? Spider-Man 2000.
How about Spider-Man taking all that shit away from Starfield?
It's not even Starfield not even getting on market, and they should have known this shit that Microsoft don't market shit. I don't know what the fuck they was.
Well, they think about it. The September 1st is when all that shit goes up. So that's the whole month is going to be taken up by Spider-Man controllers, and you know.
It's going to keep marketing Spider-Man.
Look, everyone, it's Spider-Man.
Did you see what they posted for Starfield today? Fucking animated bullshit about the 3 cities. Not even fucking game. gameplay or anything. It's animated.
And they gave him a fucking a pizza smelling, a console that smells, a controller that smells like fucking pizza. Who the fuck want a controller that smells like pizza?
That's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones. Just them 4 that they did for the contest. That's it.
Stupid.
Yeah, they do all this weird dumb shit that's just like, you know what I mean?
I can't believe I remember these stupid fights in this game. I must have played. I played more of this than I would remember, Levon. I might have beat it.
The one that came before the movie Spider-Man game, the first one had.
Yeah.
That was a really good game. They had Carnage. They had Venom.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Doc Connors, the Lizard. They had a bunch of people in that game.
Yeah. Well, I knew that was going to be awesome when I first. Well, I played. It was originally on PS1, but I got it on Dreamcast. I remember I bought it the same day I bought Street Fighter Alpha 3 too, from Walmart or something. But yeah, that first Spider-Man game, or the one from Neversoft, the Tony Hawk guys. No, I knew that was going to be great at the beginning when you first booted up, because first of all, Stan Lee is narrating it. He's like, "Greetings, true believers," and you're going through the city, right? And it shows fucking Ghost Rider going up the side of the building.
Thank you for taking time.
Like, okay, yeah, this game is already awesome, you know.
It's my pleasure.
And all the collectibles you got to collect, comic stuff and costumes. That was like the first great,
of course not,
or first good Spider-Man game. No, I take that back. I like the Sega Genesis Spider-Man game, actually. Never mind.
Of course, honey.
At the time, for the technology, that was an okay game. You got to do some cool Spider-Man stuff in that game. Take pictures, and you definitely fought a lot of good villains and stuff too. But in 3D wise, yeah, Spider-Man 2000 was great. I never played the sequel. There was a sequel. Electro something, but
oh, did you guys see that shit that Insomniac's working on another AAA game too?
Or far. I'll check behind those teller windows.
The what?
Besides, one of the people who work at Insomniac was on a podcast and said that they're working on a new unannounced AAA game that's not.
That's right.
That's not like Wolverine or Spider-Man 2. Like, there's another one.
Another one. Maybe it's for after. Yeah. So once Wolverine is in the can, they can start, finishing up. But yeah, they probably got an idea.
Well, no, they have two teams.
Yeah.
They have two teams, because the smaller team did Miles, and then the main team did Spider-Man 2, and then I think, yeah, I mean, that's just.
It could be something that's more akin to what they're doing in the Wolverine. That's going to make it easy as far as like the assets and stuff like that. Maybe whatever they built for Wolverine.
What the rumors were. What rumors are going around now, it's saying it could be Iron Man or Daredevil.
I think, yeah, somebody else I thought was working on a Daredevil game though, but maybe not. But I think they could pull off a Ghost Rider game, honestly. I think in the whole, because didn't the whole Devil May Cry, when I played that last one, I'm like, man, we could get a really good Ghost Rider game in this day and age, because the way you can portray hell and demons and the powers, it's just, we've come so far in that technology. So I think a Ghost Rider game would be badass. So would a Spawn game, but I don't know. Seems like nobody's smart enough to do the one fucking character made for video games. Like, it's like fucking Spawn. People are just too dumb, I guess. Or I don't know, maybe it's Todd McFarlane.
But it won't be easy.
he's got to be hands-on with everything. So.
Well, yeah, you figure that's his baby, so you'd have to go through him to get it done.
He'd want to be super involved, you know. I mean, I don't blame him. It's like,
but yeah, Bethesda dropped 3 like little animated shits, and it's about the 3 different cities. And you know what I mean? It's about these people who live there or whatever. They could have done that with gameplay, like.
Oh. God damn this.
And it looks like fucking. It looks lame. You know what I mean? It looks like it was like rushed together. You know. Oh yeah, any of them say that Starfield isn't bundled, tell them they're full of shit, because it is. It's just on PC with the AMD CPUs and GPUs.
Oh yeah.
Every AMD 7000 CPU and GPU, it's bundled with it.
Yeah. But
look for the elevator
they're
floor, then take it to the basement.
I think some of these stragglers from the old school way that are still kind of keeping it a little bit real, what they really want is they want, like I said, you gotta want to fucking market a game. To sell games, you gotta fucking want to sell games. And like I've been saying,
why would they market games? They don't sell games.
That's what I'm saying.
They're on their service.
That's what I'm saying. So there's still going to be these Xbox stragglers from the that are, you know, more along the lines of our generation that are like, that's what they want to see. They want to see games get.
If they're not putting that kind of money into making a game,
exactly,
you think they're going to put that kind of money into marketing it?
Exactly,
like, come on,
they're not. And
like
that's sad.
We've seen the quality drop. We've seen the scope and quality drop of these games over the past decade from Xbox. Like, come on.
And granted, Starfield is not the kind of game you want to try to market to the casuals and trick them into thinking it's going to be some sci-fi epic, and then it's, you know, it's a nerdy Bethesda game that, you know,
it's just
has its fans, but
it's just Fallout in space.
Yeah.
It's Fallout in space. That's all. That's it.
Yeah. So you
and
don't
there's
want to.
No alien races. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking so half-assed. It's ridiculous.
So even if they did put a big push into it, you're just gonna like
security guard needs
you're gonna piss people off.
Looks like
and people are making fun of them because they're like, all you did was take the resource shit and all that shit from No Man's Sky and put it in your game. With the languages and how all that turns into credits and all that shit's exactly the same as No Man's Sky. And they removed the best feature of that engine, that VAT system, when you know, the gore system, when you used to be able to blow guys' heads off and arms and legs and shit, you know what I mean? That's gone. That's completely gone out of the engine. Because there's no gore rating for it. You know what I mean? Like the old games were.
Also the concept of they know it'd be really fake to not have realistic, like, depending on the gravity you're in and shit. Like, they know people would have been like, wait a minute, why is the blood's, or why does everything look like, you know, I'm in space? You know, you'd have to try to be somewhat realistic and make it based on, like, if you're in lower gravity. I don't know if the game's going to be like that, so I doubt it.
Yeah, but I don't even think there's really much blood you know what I mean? There's going to be splatters and shit like that, but not like what you would think they would be available today. You know what I mean?
Levon, I think I beat this game.
Of their end.
I actually think I beat this game.
You're remembering?
Yes. This guy's playing through the whole, well, the other one was a long playthrough. I should go back to that one, actually, to see if I remember it. But I remember more of this than I thought, and that's really sad. I must have played through the whole thing, like, even after knowing.
I only played until, like, that prison part.
Oh, man. Yeah, I remember that. It's like nightmare. I can't believe how
how'd
much.
you like the pictures of the garden?
Oh, I didn't. I might have clicked through really quick. I didn't really study. Probably saw it
Yeah,
on
I
my
just
phone.
did them yesterday. I think yesterday. I sent it.
Peppers and shit. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there was fucking shit ton, man. We
I
had
had, like,
stuffed
one-
peppers today, actually.
I had one pepper grow last year, just randomly.
I had 4 peppers on one plant that just got picked and made into stuffed peppers today.
Should have dug up more. I want to dig around the. I know exactly where I want to put most of my shit. Where I want to dig little spots.
The precious metals vault. This key
I just got to do that when it's not hot. Do it in the springtime.
Fucking rabbit keeps eating my fucking lettuce.
Where in the fuck is that video?
I got tomatoes turning too already.
I got something for you.
All the financial shit's coming out from Microsoft right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was just tied up with the
Yeah, Tom Warren's listening in on the shit or whatever, so.
Peter, thank you for taking time out of your school day. Peter, thank you.
It's in the news and shows. I posted it.
Yep, I think I beat this stupid ass game. That's insane. God, the graphics are like not even as good as the PS1.
Apparently, police work in this city is not what it once was. I suppose I shouldn't be rude, though. Thank you for your help, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
For one of our security guards, Spider-Man. They have keys that'll help you get down to the vault.
Yep, I was just fucking around. I came on. I was like talking that UFO shit. And maybe if I'm up early enough tomorrow, we can watch a stupid hearing, the House hearing, whatever. I doubt I'm gonna be up. If I am, or I'll just watch it later, replay it. First of many, hopefully. Hopefully they don't get all their shit shut down, because they have been intimidated. Pentagon is making sure all the good witnesses won't come forward and speak. And so far, we're not having any under oath hearings, but that's what we need.
Security guard stuck on the
But getting David Grush in front of people, a guy who says that he came across these special access programs of retrievals and stuff. I mean, that's still pretty amazing that we're gonna have somebody talk in any official capacity in that regard. So that's
Hey,
media does their job.
Xbox's gaming revenue is up 1%, content and service is up 5%, and then the console sales are down again.
And let me guess, they're capping for it, like that's a big win or something.
No, I didn't see anything like that. I'm just saying that's what been like their financial stuff, what's been posted, and even their Windows devices is down and shit. Like,
because I did see some people trying to brag about like some sales jump or like, which was ridiculous.
well, no, they're making fun of them. Like, why would you raise the price when you know PlayStation's going to be coming out with a new console, so they're going to be doing a price drop?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It always happens when they come out with a new one, the other ones drop.
Yeah, unless you're Nintendo. They barely
They just don't give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they know people are still buying that shit. Yeah. And you don't need to. You just come out with a more expensive system. You know, you come out with a new Switch that's more, and they just keep the other one at the fucking regular price. Eventually, it comes down, but it fucking, oh my god, it takes forever. And they never go down past a certain point. Like, even if you were to try to buy a Wii U, right? I mean, oh my god, it would be ridiculous. Even used. Fucking, maybe a Wii, one of those shitty Wiis, they'd be cheap. You can get those on eBay really cheap, but
I don't have the code, but my partner does.
fucking hey.
In the cash vault. This code will get you in there.
Because I'd buy a fucking cheap, you know, old Nintendo system, but they never come down in price. I can't justify because it's going to be like 1 or 2 games that I play. Like, come on, you know.
You know where to look at is Facebook Marketplace, or look locally on like yard sales and shit.
Yeah,
that's where you'll find one.
I should, because I got these electronic drums that I got. Facebook
That's where you'll find it.
I almost got ripped
Facebook
off too.
Marketplace is awesome. It's I like Facebook Marketplace. That's where I got rid of them VR headsets.
This guy in a metal band was going to try to rob me though. He's in a pretty well known. I won't say the name, but pretty well known guitar player, and I mean, they're not like, it's not like they're making money playing it, but they're known. You know, they don't make any money playing in that band, but they're well known. But yeah, I think the guy was trying to rob my ass. He's trying to set me up.
What do you want with diamonds, Ock? Your kind of ugly goes deeper than jewelry
Yeah.
can fix.
With these electronic drums, they were nice too. Oh my god, these electronic drums. Yeah, it seemed too good to be true. But I'm like, okay, this guy's an established. But at the same time, this guy was an established musician, right? So I thought, you know, it's like musicians, they try to help. You know, like musicians have to go through money shit all the time. Like, if you go on tour, you're gonna get evicted, and so you might be in a bad spot, and you got to sell all your gear like for half price. This shit like that happens when you're a fucking struggling, you know, just a regular musician. It happens all the time, so I didn't think anything of it, but it ended up being too good to be true, because the set was so fucking nice, and I was still paying a pretty fair price for it, but it was way down from, you know, what I normally would have been able to afford, you know. But it had the nicest module.
Yeah, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. But
I ended up finding another deal for not as good of a deal, but it was a pretty good deal for the set that I did get, and that kind of seemed like it was too good to be true as well, but it wasn't. So, and that guy was really cool. He had it packed up in a thing, and he came out in a cart.
Yeah, you can always tell the real deal. Cool. You know.
Yeah, he was a good dude.
Yeah, motherfuckers acting shady, just walk away.
Yeah. This guy wasn't a perfect, like a actual musician though. I think he just fucked around. He just like jammed. He lived in an apartment, but that other guy was like a, you know, I'm not gonna say he was a professional musician, but he's played some festivals and stuff, you know. His crappy metal band. But that doesn't mean anything, like, you know, dudes in the fucking street dudes that play music too, you know. But yeah, I never really thought about it, because I've looked at, like, yeah, guitars and electronic stuff, and never really looked at, I'm sure, yeah, all Nintendos, especially around the suburbs. Like, I bet you I'd see a lot.
Thank you, Spider-Man.
You know, the kids go away to college, and like,
maybe I misjudged you.
they go through and find all these old fucking
Don't worry, ma'am. I'm sure he's
Wii U's and whatever. Johnny's first console. I used to always look for fucking retro games at
Never did return my call yesterday.
I'm sorry. I was
yard sales and shit, but there was a point when the YouTube videos started, it was a wash. Then it became a trend for people that weren't in the culture.
Wait right here. Find a phone and call the police.
Making money off of it. So it went from you could fucking get a whole box of fucking retro games, you know, score somewhere. It went from that to like nothing, because there's guys that can just go around.
Check the pawn shops too. Check the pawn shops too, and the little mom and pop shops.
But that's the thing.
Usually you get better deals there than anywhere. You know?
Once people started making videos and the internet stuff took off as far as people knowing about that, then people who weren't in gaming culture would get into it just to make money. So there's like whole companies of dudes that'll go around looking for old consoles to resell, and
they've done that with the old sealed Mario unit. Remember, they were upping the value of them. There was that whole scandal.
There's that stuff too. The gatekeepers of retro for years, even before that, used to do shady stuff, because you know, the Atari age and these forums.
Hey, do you remember the Kong shit was going on for all the years with that Kong tournament and shit, and then it got finally found out that he was full of shit.
Oh, you're talking about Billy?
Yeah, he was full of shit.
Billy Mitchell. Yeah.
Because of the old footage, they figured out that was a modded fucking one. Yeah. So none of his shit counts.
They need to make another documentary about him, because there's been so much shit that's happened since the first documentary.
Like, because the court case was still going, and then they finally figured it out.
That first documentary came out fucking years ago. It's like 15 years ago now.
Do it on Netflix again, because there was that one on Netflix. They'll probably just update it and do it. You know,
they got to do another one, a part 2, because like there's so much shit that's happened since then, and he tried to like.
Did you see the Flash is on fucking Amazon Prime already?
I think you mentioned it. Somebody mentioned it.
Yeah, it's already on Amazon. It's on their stream. Like you can just.
I gotta watch it.
That's how bad it did.
Oh, if it's on Amazon, I could do a watch along. Should do that on Twitch. The only problem is you can't. It makes it. It doesn't replay your old shit. It just like deletes it. So if you don't record
because it's copyright. Yeah.
Well, no, you have to get rid of that out of your stream anyway. But I've done streams before, and it would just save your stream, but it's just you talking, so it's not, you know, as long as you cut the audio out, you're good. But last time I did that, it didn't even save my stream, which isn't fair, because I wanted to download it afterwards, and you know, all it is just your audio. You're talking about, you know, nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about, but it'd be nice to keep. But yeah, they changed it.
Twitch has gone downhill.
But yeah, that would be a good one, because and Invincible season 2 is coming out too. I gotta go back and watch the first one. That's on Amazon as well. Yeah, that'd be a good watch along, but I'd have to promote it ahead of time, because get people to watch, because they wouldn't be able to replay it. So make sure people see it. Hey, want to watch Flash? But I'd have to fucking do it by myself again, because last time I tried to do one of these watch alongs, it turned into a whole ordeal, because like people who weren't going to be there wanted to be there, and then people who were supposed to be there didn't end up being there. It was a wash. I was like the only one prepared. Made a big deal about it for all this time. Plus, it was Wonder Woman, and that was a shitty movie.
You're supposed to fall down now, Puma. Didn't you read the script?
You're pretty good indoors.
Forgot about Puma.
You do outside.
Yep, I definitely played this part. I remember. This is the same villains that were in the PS2 version. Well, no, I didn't.
Yeah, I got to get back. I have to finish Horizon Forbidden West, and then I have to go do the Ghost of Tsushima DLC, and then I still have to finish Hogwarts too.
Yeah. That's the way to do it, though. Just kind of play, just kind of jump around where you need to, or wherever you feel like playing.
Yeah, I kind of like finishing and like the story or whatever, just to get it done. You know what I mean?
You know,
and then go back and do DLC later or whatever. You know.
For me, it's we lived in the time where gaming was so awesome as a kid, but at the same time, there were a lot of like really not sad, but like some kind of not bad times, but like, because if you were stuck with one game, it wasn't always fun the whole time, even if it was a great game, because it's like you got to concentrate on this one game, and you know, especially if you're poor, you didn't have a lot of games. But yeah, I just remember being stuck with games, and then rental, a whole weekend could be ruined back back in the day, you know what I mean? Like kids got it so good now, you could jump around, you got like all these choices, it's great, you know. But man, if you were stuck with like one fucking game, especially if you bought, oh my god, that was the worst. You spent all this money on the game and then it's not that great, let alone a rental, you know. Just a rental is bad enough. Like ruined a whole weekend because I rented Biker Mice from Mars, you know. Hey, it looked cool on the back of the box. I didn't think it was just going to be some crappy racer that you get bored of in 15 minutes, you know. Thought there'd be some depth to it. It's amazing how much of this game I remember. Horrible. But yeah, I guess I'll do that shit tomorrow if I'm here, but it's gonna be a bunch of horse shit though. But I still do want to see what they say in front of the public, and I don't know if you saw the lineup of the guys that are testifying, but Fravor, Graves, and David Grush. Those are the three guys. So one whistleblower and just two witnesses.
Yeah, because of Dr. Greer, there's a lot more whistleblowers coming out now too.
Yeah, hopefully, but it's kind of a little bit of a mess because you got the house stuff going on, so it's like people have to choose, but that's okay. Hopefully there isn't too much pushback with the House version, and that they don't cover, you know, like totally get people to back out of the Senate hearings that are supposedly coming. Because people have already been backing out of this one, and they've been pressured. NASA was going to be a part of it, and they backed out. Certain witnesses had to back out because they weren't cleared. I mean, this is a lot of shit, and this is stuff that we know now. This is only just stuff that we know now. I mean, this is like shit. There's gonna be shit that we find out down the line, you know, because nobody's like mentioning it at this point.
I'm sitting here watching these two hummingbirds fight.
Damn. I've never seen hummingbirds fight.
Well, male and female. If it's
okay,
two
so
females,
they're just playing. Yeah.
If it's, they'll run each other off. But if it's two females, they'll sit there. They're okay. But as soon as a male comes up, they'll run them off. But usually the male will sit out there and like antagonize it. Like,
yeah, that's kind of like how they. That's kind of ritualistic a little bit, though. Like kind of showing you're interested, you know.
And then I seen one that's pregnant because I could see the belly. Yeah. I could see how fat the belly was on it.
That sucks. I don't have that. Actually, the spot where we had the big mimosa tree, it's grown back. I should take some pictures of it sometime. It's a very young tree, but it's getting huge. It's like tall. I'm gonna have to cut some of the sides, but it's a replacement mimosa.
Dude, hummingbird feeders are the best. I have one right outside the window and just sit here and watch them.
I had one at one point, but it kind of broke. I don't know why. Bird. Fucking hornets.
Yeah, I got.
Hornets
Well,
build
you
nests in my shit.
Yeah,
so
well, you gotta. And now what they did is they figured out to stay away from the yellow flowers because that's what attracts the bees. So a lot of them now have white or red flowers. Because that's what attracts them.
Yeah, my regular bird feeders.
Hummingbirds.
My regular bird feeders got fucked up, and that's where I would hang my hummingbird things too. But you should just go put one up on the tree.
Yeah, and they can sit here in a chair and look right out the window, and they come
And
right
I got
up to the
squirrels. So you gotta hang everything really high. Like I got those bird feeders that are squirrel proof, but.
Yeah, they have the or the domes. The domes you can put over. Well, no, they have the other ones that are spring loaded. So when they grab on, it disengages it and spins them and throws them off like a fucking. I seen this one got so fucked up from it. When the squirrel hit the ground, it was just running in circles because it was just so fucked up from getting spun. Oh, look up fucking YouTube videos of it. It's hilarious. Them ones that spin, they spin them squirrels around like 30 mile an hour.
They gotta be expensive. That's funny though. I've heard of people doing all kinds of crazy shit for that, like electroshock and all this crazy shit. I'm like, oh, come on.
Well, all you have to do is have one of them big bell covers over the top so they can't, you know what I mean? So they can't jump to it. As long as that's covering it and they can't jump to it, you're okay. But you gotta watch where you put them if you got squirrels and shit, that kind of shit around, You said you do. Because they'll always find a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're fucking. They can.
They just
get
knock
anywhere.
it over, or they just kind of bang on it and then let it. If there's some shit that can fall, they'll try all kinds of shit. But my squirrels around here, they kind of know me though, so.
I have this little bird feeder. That's for like the smaller birds, you know what I mean? And there was a blue jay trying to get, feed out of it. It wasn't big enough. It couldn't land and do it. It had to fly sideways. It was hilarious. It was trying to get food out of it. It's like, you're too big for there, dummy. Just go on the ground. Yeah, I want to get a hummingbird to eat out of my hand.
Oh yeah.
I want to see if you know what I mean. They have the little hand feeders.
Yeah. Yeah, people do that shit.
Yeah, I want to sit out on my back porch on a chair and see if I can get them to eat out of my hand.
I don't have enough shade out there to do it. Just a certain time of day, it's shady in the back. Just perfect, but I gotta put that umbrella back there actually.
Yeah, like the way our house is situated, the hummingbird feeders like on the eastern side of the house. So when it's, you know what I mean? So when the sun's going down, it's all in the shade. So that's when we see a ton of hummingbirds, always in the evenings. Yeah, I change it out every like 3 to 4 days. I gotta clean it and put new,
Hey, hold the elevator.
Alright, well that's enough of this fucking footage. I guess that's it.
Thanks, Spidey. You saved me.
People were watching a little earlier, but we didn't really have anything to talk about, so maybe we'll do, if J-Dub's up for it, we'll have like a show later or something. I know I was going early, but I wasn't really to do much console on. It was just for me to bullshit real quick and mention that UFO shit. And then the Spider-Man 2 game to remind me of the nightmare that was this fucking game that stole money from me. Thanks, Activision. I hate you. Let me find that song I was playing. Play it out. that's not it.
Hey, did you hear that shit about that Blizzard that said that all the people who used to be there are gone? I figured that was going to happen when Activision, and then, you know, when they got bought out by Activision. Because most of the Blizzard leadership was pushed out by the Activision people, so they can end.